Hi there. It's time for another Pinnacle webinar episode. Today's topic is retirement by design, not by default. Good evening, everyone. My name is Dr. Gregory Green. I'm truly honored to spend this time with you discussing a topic that I believe has the power to completely reshape how we think about retirement. Tonight's conversation is called Retirement by Design, Not by Default. And that phrase is important because far too many people drift into retirement accidentally instead of entering it intentionally. For decades, many individuals spend their lives focused on their careers, obligations, schedules, deadlines, and responsibilities. Then one day, retirement arrives, and suddenly the question becomes, now what? For some people, retirement initially feels excited. There's freedom, more flexibility, less pressure. But after the novelty wears off, many people quickly begin struggling with something they've never expected. A lack of direction, a lack of purpose, a loss of identity, and sometimes even a loss of connection and meaning. Because while financial planning is essential, emotional and lifestyle planning are equally important. And unfortunately, very few people are ever taught how to prepare for that side of retirement. That's why I believe retirement should never happen by default. It should happen by design. It should be intentional, purposeful, meaningful, and deeply connected to the kind of life you truly want to create in your next chapter. I believe one of the greatest opportunities we have in life is the opportunity for reinvention. Retirement is not simply an ending of a career. It's about beginning a new phase of life with clarity, wisdom, freedom, and intention. And in many ways, retirement can become one of the most transformational seasons of our lives, but only if we approach it intentionally. Yes, see, many people unknowingly enter retirement without with an outdated mindset. They believe retirement is primarily about slowing down, stepping back, remaining comfortable, and avoiding stress. But what I've discovered through my conversations with retirees is that comfort alone does not create fulfillment. Human beings are wired for growth. They're wired for meaning, for contribution, for connection, and for purpose driven living. When those things disappear, even financially secured individuals can begin to feel emotionally disconnected. That's why I often encourage people to stop asking, how do I retire? And begin asking, how do I want to live? That question changes everything because now retirement becomes a life redesign process, a chance to intentionally create a future that reflects your values, your passions, your health, your goals, your relationships, your dreams, and your legacy. And successful retirement is not measured only by financial assets. It's measured by quality of life. Do you wake up excited about your future? Do you feel mentally engaged? Do you have meaningful relationships? Do you feel connected to something larger than yourself? Are you growing emotionally, spiritually, socially, and personally? Do you have experiences ahead of you that inspires you? This is what intentional retirement is truly about. Designing a life that feels meaningful, not simply filling time. I believe that there are four areas every person should intentionally design during retirement. The first is purpose. One of the greatest emotional transitions in retirement happens when people leave behind careers that gave them structure and identity for decades. Suddenly, they're no longer the executive, the business owner, the manager, the teacher, the provider, or the professional they've always been. And many people quietly ask themselves, who am I now? That question is deeper than most people realize because retirement often forces us to rediscover ourselves outside of our professional roles. And that can actually become a beautiful thing, an opportunity to reconnect with passion, gifts, dreams, relationships, spirituality, creativity, service, and contribution. Purpose driven living means understanding that you're more valuable. You did not end when your career ended. Your wisdom, that still matters. Your experiences, they still matter. Your life still has meaning and impact. The second area is health and vitality. Many people spend decades sacrificing their health while building their careers. Then retirement arrives and they finally have time to focus on themselves. The next chapter of your life should include wellness, movement, energy, balance, emotional well being, and longevity. Because retirement is not simply about living longer, it's about living better. And the more energy and vitality that we create, the more fully we can experience life. A third adventure, uh, excuse me, the third area is adventure. Now, adventure looks different for everyone. For some people, it may mean international travel. For others, it means learning something new, building new friendships, exploring spirituality, volunteering, mentoring, writing, creating, or stepping outside of routines that have existed for decades. Adventure keeps life emotionally alive. It creates excitement, curiosity, growth, and possibility. The moment people stop growing emotionally and mentally, life can begin feeling small. But when people intentionally create new experiences, they begin feeling alive again. That's why retirement should never become emotional withdrawal from life. It should become expansion into life. Now, the fourth area is connection. And this may be the most overlooked aspect of retirement planning. Many retirees, they struggle silently with loneliness and disconnection. Children, they grow older, social circles change, careers end, and daily interaction decreases. And without intentional effort, isolation slowly appears. Human beings were designed for meaningful connections. We thrive in environments where we feel seen, understood, encouraged, and inspired. That's one reason transformational experiences and immersive environments can be so powerful later in life. When people step away from routines and distractions, they gain clarity. They reconnect with themselves and they reconnect with what truly matters. Now, this is exactly why I created the 7-day all inclusive life design retreat in Costa Rica through Pinnacle Life Design Group. This retreat was designed specifically for individuals and couples who want more than an ordinary retirement, people who want a transformational retirement experience, people who want to intentionally design the next chapter of their lives rather than simply drifting into it. This is not a vacation. It's not a traditional retirement seminar. It's a carefully curated life experience focused on personal growth, clarity, purpose, wellness, connection, and retirement transformation. Our guests, they experience life planning workshops, purpose and legacy sessions, meaningful group discussions, wellness experience, adventure excursions, reflection and vision exercises, connection building activities, and personalized guidance for designing a more intentional future. Everything is all inclusive, so participants can fully focus on themselves without distraction from everyday life. And what makes this experience so powerful is that people begin realizing that they're not alone. They meet others who are asking the same question. What do I want now? What kind of life do I want to create? How do I stay energized and fulfilled? How do I make these meaningful? Sometimes a single week in the right environment creates more clarity than years of routine ever could. I truly believe that we are entering a new era of retirement. People today want more comfort. They want fulfillment. They want purpose. They want connection. They want wellness. They want adventure. They want a curated life experience that reflects who they are becoming in their next phase of life. And most importantly, they want their future to feel intentional. That is the heart of retirement by design, not by default. So as we close today, I want to leave you with this thought. Retirement is not the end of your story. It may actually become the most meaningful chapter you have ever lived. But the future does not happen accidentally. It happens intentionally through vision, through growth, through purpose living, through meaningful connection, and through the courage to embrace reinvention and life redesign. Thank you so much for being with me today. I truly appreciate your time and hope that this conversation inspires you to think differently about what is possible in your future. Because your next chapter deserves to be lived intentionally, not by default.